welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Marotta, host of the show, and good evening to you. Welcome to our live viewing audience here on Facebook and social media. Proud member of the Education Podcast Network, Voice Ed Radio Canada, wherever you are taking in your podcast. Appreciate you jumping on. This was an unscheduled show. I had a show last week. The guest, we had to change the date and they weren't available. And I said, you know what? Let's get on here. I have a few things I want to share, a few things I want to say. And so this is a solo show. So if you're a fan of Andrew Marotta, you just got me tonight. And a few things I'd like to announce and share tonight. So number one, we are going to meet our sponsor, IXL. Here in the Northeast, we're in school here just over a month. Some other places, you're almost at 2 months. Down south, 2 months. But IXL sponsoring the show. Again, learning where the kids are at, learning where they can be, helping getting them there. Great program for teachers to really personalize the learning for the kids, let the kids have autonomy, and let them go at the speed and the pace that is good for them. Here is a word from IXL. We appreciate them sponsoring the show.
I'd like to thank IXL for sponsoring today's podcast. Over 1 million teachers use IXL in their classroom every day. IXL is the most widely used online learning and teaching platform K through 12. It empowers schools with complete curriculum, thousands of instructional resources, robust reporting, assessment data, and more. It saves teachers a lot of valuable time with ready-made plans aligned to the standards and the textbooks. Built-in engagement tools like custom competitions make learning fun for students. And IXL's diagnostic is research proven to be a strong predictor of performance on standardized assessments. And the best part? Everything I just mentioned is all integrated into one platform, so you can simplify your EdTech tools. Visit IXL.com to lead your students towards data-driven excellence today. The link is in the show notes. And again, appreciate IXL sponsoring today's podcast.
Okay, thank you, IXL. If you're not familiar with IXL, certainly check it out. Have an introductory call. It's a great resource for educators everywhere. All right, the second thing I wanted to announce, we have kicked off PPC, Passion, Performance, and Commitment, Leadership Coaching with myself. This is a program I've been working on for several months. And I am excited to introduce it here in 2026. I have several slots available, and I am looking for the person, the school, the company with a right fit. A couple of things about PPC, a couple of the topics, right? We can set up 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month packages there. And the things we're going to work on, the things we're going to talk about: self-awareness, positive energy, effective communication, resilience, being resilient, whether I was leading as a school principal or a referee, right? The amount of times you get knocked down, healthy habits, self-care, consistent commitments, absorbing pressure, cultivating creativity, and developing your public speaking skills. You all know I like to talk. I like to tell stories. Certainly working with leaders and businesses and schools, building that vision, helping serve others, and implementing successful strategies for a meaningful impact, right? I want for you to have an improvement in your results, right? This isn't just spending time together. It is about you improving results, leader confidence, your performance, employee satisfaction, retention, and certainly school improvement, business improvement, etc. So I do have slots available for 2026. PPC coaching with me, Andrew Marotta, and I'm excited to kick that off here. Reach out if you're interested. There's information on my website there. And again, happy to announce PPC. Also, very soon, here in the next couple of weeks, my latest book is coming out. The Magic Acronyms, Formulas, and Impactful Stories of Leadership. My man, Dr. Rob Gilbert. If you are not a hotline caller, write this number down tonight. Start tonight. Call right after the podcast. 973-743-4690. That's Dr. Rob. And just like I'm telling you, a friend of mine told me years ago, back in 2014, Andrew, start calling the hotline. And I did, and I got notebooks after notebooks after notebooks of notes and things, all from Dr. Gilbert that I learned over the years. And now this book is coming out. It's coming out here in the next couple of weeks. The Magic Acronyms, Formulas, and Impactful Stories of Leadership. I've added stories in there. Dr. Gilbert has added stories in there, as well as a bunch of Dr. Gilbert mentees, as we call them, or friends of Dr. Gilbert, people that have called the hotline, successful people just like you. So I'm very proud of that and excited that that's coming out here in the next couple of weeks. So check that out. More information coming about that soon. Okay, let's get started. I have a few different topics. Number one, UNC Wilmington. My daughter is a freshman there. We just had Parents Weekend. We were just down there and so happy for her friends there at UNC Wilmington. But if you were following in the news, and I know there's a lot of tragedies and things happening all over, there's shootings, there's things, it's like almost on a daily basis, we're hearing something terrible. Well, just 2 weeks ago, UNC Wilmington went into lockdown. They started with a kind of a hold in place. They didn't really know what they had. Then they went into a full lockdown for several hours. There was a reported gunman on campus, which turned out to be false. But as a parent, we were on the other end of this stress with our daughter. We were trying to get information. So this happened over the course of several hours. I woke up the next morning and had 75 text messages between my wife, my daughter, myself. And I just wanted to comment about UNC Wilmington and how I thought they handled it. Number one, we don't want these things to happen, right? We don't want tragedies. We don't want shootings. We don't want kind of rumors and panic. I was looking at the situation, through the lens of a communication specialist, through the lens of someone who works in schools, who has to handle announcements and that kind of stuff. My daughter was watching it unfold from her window. They were watching the cop cars come through the campus. And again, we all know social media, how people can run with that. But in the end, you could certainly look up what UNC Wilmington did. My daughter was frustrated that information wasn't coming out quick enough. And they chose, instead of saying, hey, we don't have any information right now, they chose to wait. I would have liked some more announcements early on. But then they did release a series of posts, a series of writings, and certainly the videos from the leader there. I don't think he's the college president. I don't know if he's the provost, the dean, I'm not sure. But a number of videos that came out of the gentleman being positive, releasing all of the facts, releasing what actually happened, what actually they did, and then certainly the resources for parents and students. They did this multiple times over the course of several days. They said, okay, and tomorrow our investigation is going to continue. And at 6:00, we are going to announce anything else that we've uncovered over the next 24 hours. So I learned a lot about communication. I learned a lot about stress. I learned a lot about looking through the lens of a parent. For years, I led in schools as a principal, right? And as a school leader and as an educator, you always have to kind of remember, right? Every kid is your kid, right? Every parent has an interest in the school, and speaking to them and serving them and getting that information out to them is so important. So I got to look at this situation through a couple different lenses, and I was impressed with the way UNC Wilmington handled it. A lot of collaboration with their police departments and the local authorities. But in the end, someone pushed out a video that showed a gunman, and it looked like it was on campus, and the person said it was on campus. It was false. It was not on campus, but they treated it as if it was, and all the kids very panicked. It was just a tumultuous situation, and I'm glad everything's okay. I'm glad everything worked out. But certainly, whether you're a business leader, a school leader, a college leader, getting that timely information out, giving exactly the facts of what happened, and then so important, what did you do when you found out what you did as the leader, as the school, right? What did you do when you found out what you did? One of my favorite sessions I enjoy leading as a presenter and a speaker when I'm working with school leaders and schools is called the uncommon scenarios. And we throw out those situations. They may or may not be true. Yes, they're all true. Things that happened to me over my time, 20 plus years as a school leader. And we kick it around. It's almost like a game show. We discuss, well, what about this? What about this? Ending always with the aspect of do more than expected. Give your people more than expected. And while UNC Wilmington, I don't think did more than expected, I thought they did a good job getting that communication out to us. It was in print, there was videos, and then it did come more. There was more posts and more information. It did come more regularly as the situations unfolded. So topic number one, communication there. Glad everything is okay. And UNC Wilmington, here's the little Seahawk symbol. Appreciate you taking care of my daughter. Appreciate the work that you've done there. Number two, all leaders are readers. And jump in, friends. If you're watching the show, there's a number of people watching live. Jump in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Throw a question in there. This is just me tonight. I got an outline here, but I certainly would like to have some dialogue with you. Let me know where you're watching from. And I appreciate you tuning in. But all leaders are readers. So what are you reading? What are you reading right now? Here's a little book review. I was blessed enough to meet the Andy Andrews, the author, the speaker, the presenter, the storyteller. And I read his first book, The Traveler's Gift. Fantastic. Andy's a great storyteller. Andy's a great writer. And I read The Noticer. The Noticer. This is a story about Jones and who meets Andy. Andy's story is incredible. It's a true story. Andy was homeless under a pier, 19 years old on the coast of Alabama. And he lost his parents tragically. And as he said, some financial mistakes, some mistakes as a young person. And he found himself homeless, 19 years old. He's under a pier in Alabama on the beach. And this guy comes up and they get talking, and he hands Andy 3 books. Andy wasn't a reader. Andy didn't have any interest in reading, and he told him to read them. Well, Andy was homeless. He wasn't working, and so he did. And he actually got into the books a little bit, and there was a library card, and he told Andy, return these and get some more, right? And they were biographies. And Andy didn't call them biographies, neither did Jones. He called them adventure stories because they were people's stories. Andy, over the course of several years, read 250 biographies there, which helped him write then The Traveler's Gift, which got him going. So this is the story of Jones and Andy and how they met, and certainly Jones' influence not only on Andy, but on other people. Great book. A lot of positivity, a lot of thought about impact on other people, your impact on other people. And when you got a hit, right? When there's a great movie, there's always a sequel. And I'm reading the sequel right now, The Noticer Returns. Sometimes you find perspective, and sometimes perspective finds you. Again, the story of Jones and his impact on other people. So what are you reading, friends? All leaders are readers. I read The Noticer. I'm just about done here with The Noticer Returns. And I am a 15 minutes a night guy. It is approaching 8 o'clock here, East Coast time. I'm pretty tired tonight. I got in late from travel yesterday, and I'll be in bed early tonight, but I will certainly get my 15 minutes in and get that routine down. If you read 15 minutes a night, friends, you are going to read 15 books a year, which is pretty incredible for anybody to do. Certainly leaders here looking to grow and learn. So number 2, what are you reading? Okay, again, jump in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from and throw a question in the chat. It's just me tonight. Thoughts and reflections with Andrew Marotta here on ELB, Education, Leadership, and Beyond. All right, topic number 4, the word and a leadership concept. As you know, I call Success Hotline Dr. Rob Gilbert, and he is a great influence on me, a really great influence. If you are not calling the Success Hotline, here is the number. Again, I highly recommend you call. It's a 3-minute message about being successful. Dr. Gilbert leaves that message. It's also on iTunes, 973-743-4690. Well, he's up to message 12,700 something. And he had hiccups on Sunday. And he said he had terrible hiccups. And he tried to delay the hotline, and he tried to do this, and he tried to do that. But he did that hotline, and not but he had hiccups. It was and he had hiccups, right? He had a situation that didn't stop him from doing the hotline. And he compared it to that thing that it is that you want to do, right? Whether you want to exercise, whether you want to write a book, whether you want to train for a 5K, whether you want to do that cooking lesson. You could do that thing and feel tired. You could do that thing and not want to do it. You could still make the commitment to doing that thing that it is that you want to do and have a negative feeling about it, or not feel your best about it. As I said, I traveled yesterday. You're going through New York City. There's always delays. I got in late. I was out of my routine. I got in. My brain was racing. Seeing my daughter at college. And I kind of said to myself, you know what? Let me get my rest. Let me sleep tomorrow morning. I won't exercise. That's what I told myself. And then I called the hotline. And that was the message. You could do that thing and not feel your best. I'm not going to do it because I don't feel my best, or I don't want to do it, but blah, blah. And you can do it and be this or be that. So I was tired this morning. And I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to work out. And I was going to rest. I haven't been sleeping well. I hurt my shoulder. But I got up, right? And it was okay that I did not feel my best. I worked out and I was tired. But you know what happened? I felt better. I'm going to put this in there, CRH. I see you jumped in there from YouTube. I am going to pause for a moment and put in the chat. I can't type and talk very well, so I'm just going to be quiet for a moment. 743-4690. Let's see if that goes in. Yeah, for the hotline. Here it is. 973-743-4690. Let me know where you're watching from, C-R-H. But that's the Success Hotline, Dr. Rob Gilbert. So Sunday's message, if you go on iTunes, you could always listen back. You could always go back on iTunes. Every day he changes it. The message changes, so you can't recover the message that way. But if you download on iTunes Success Hotline, it's a 3-minute podcast, and you could go back. So that was Sunday's message, September 28th, about and. So I was thrilled. So now I'm on the elliptical. I took the dog out. I did my exercise. I'm on the elliptical, and I was like, I need some inspiration. I need something. I watch documentaries. I watch YouTube, different videos. I watch TED Talks. So I punched in leadership. This is this morning. I'm not at my best. I'm tired. I'm a little groggy. I was like, let me get going, right? The 15-minute rule. You don't want to do something. You start doing it. And after 15 minutes, you're doing it. You're on your way. So hello, Karen from San Angelo. I saw your very positive post recently, Karen. Congratulations on the wellness you got going on for you and your family. I saw that. So congratulations, Karen, from giant downtown metropolis, the huge city of Veribest, Texas, right outside San Angelo. Thanks for tuning in, Karen. So I'm on the treadmill or the elliptical, and I punch in the TED Talk. And the name was Great Leadership Begins with Three Commitments by Peter Rogers. I don't know Peter. It had a bunch of views. I want to learn about leadership. I want to grow and get better. So I put it on. And here again, I'm not feeling my best. I'm kind of just, working out and feeling tired. And the first commitment from this TED Talk by Peter Rogers, the Great Leadership Begins with Three Commitments, was consistency over intensity. That was the first point. Consistency over intensity. So here I was not going to go work out, not go do that thing. And I happened to put on this TED Talk. And the first learning point there was consistency over intensity, which went back and verified or solidified what I was thinking and what Dr. Gilbert's message was from the day before, that it's okay if you don't feel your best. You could still do that thing. You still could show up. But consistently showing up for these things is better than not showing up at all, right? And I felt better. I felt good about it, right? You don't have that guilt when you don't work out or you're not doing that thing that you're not supposed to. One of the magic acronyms is OADB from Dr. Gilbert. On a daily basis. I know that's not a true acronym. It's not a word, but OADB, it's just short for on a daily basis. So that thing that you want to do, just do it. Consistency over intensity moves the dial. When you do that thing each and every day, even if it's for a little bit, it moves the dial. So I love those points there about and consistency there. Great points this morning. Again, friends, if you're watching live, jump in. I'd like to have some dialogue with you and certainly some conversation through the chat there. But my last point here, I don't know if you know the story, but I'll share it. So I was doing this podcast, Education, Leadership, Beyond. I don't know how many years we're up to. This is episode 300 and something right now, 370, 380. We're getting close to 400. And the blog is at the same thing, Education, Leadership, Beyond, ELB blog. If you don't receive that, sign up at my website. Click and you'll get that, the Education, Leadership, and Beyond blog. So we're at around 380. So if I've been doing those weekly, do the math. How many? 4, 5, 6 years, somewhere in there. And it's been going great, and I enjoy them. And now for my job, I'm no longer the building principal in Port Jervis. I was the high school principal for a super long time. Then I was the middle school principal for a few years. And now I'm the director of communications and academic services in my beloved Port Jervis. There it is right there, my calendar book, Port Jervis, New York. Shout out to my Port Jervis team there. And I, in my position now, get to do a podcast and I get to do a blog for Port Jervis. So if you're curious about that, curious about that for your school, all of the programming, all of the information is on our Port Jervis website under departments. And I'm actually presenting on this soon here for SANES, the School Administrators Association of New York State. I've done this for a few different organizations, but the name of the presentation is called Podcasting, Blogging, and Adding Value to Your School Community. And I wrote down some points for that as I'm getting ready for that presentation coming up in New York. And again, maybe it is blogging. Maybe it is podcasting. My friend Karen is working on her wellness. She posted that she lost a number of pounds. Congratulations, Karen, from Texas. And sorry, I just lost my train of thought there looking at the chat. So whatever that thing is for you, here are a couple points to it. And my friend Colin from New Jersey is dialing in there. Colin, we spoke today, working on his book there, junior student there in New Jersey. And I was happy to talk to you, Colin. So that is who you are, the C-R-H. So here's 5 points that I wrote down from my presentation that I'm getting ready for, podcasting, blogging, and adding value to your school community. And number one is just keep going. I kind of spoke about that a little bit earlier, right? Keep doing the blogs, keep writing. When you're trying to save money, right? What is that? It's $5 a day. It's $1 a day. It's $10 a week. Whatever that number is. If you just keep compounding and keep doing those things, you're gonna be building consistency and certainly moving forward. Karen, I think I shared my story about I had broke ribs. I slipped here in the Northeast. I broke some ribs. I had put on 25 pounds, not exercising, not moving as much. I broke my ribs. I couldn't move, and I didn't change my eating habit. And I gained that weight. I felt terrible. I couldn't move as much. And I went to the doctor, and he was like, yeah, you're overweight, da, da, da. And he put me down for 2,100 calories. 2,100 calories was my number to produce a deficit, right? We want to lose weight. We're going to produce a deficit. And I learned there, I think it's 3,500 calories is a pound. 3,500 calories, I believe. If you're watching this and you know that, but I believe that's what it is. And so you add that up, right? If you're shaving 100 calories a day, that number, you're going to shave those calories. Those pounds are eventually going to come off. It's just a numbers game, just a math game there. So if you are shaving those calories off, and it's designed that the amount of calories that you want to try to shed maybe a pound a week or so to do it in the wellness category there, where you're not drastically shocking your body. But just do it a little bit each day, right? If you're shaving 100 calories a day, and now I'm constantly looking, constantly checking this calories, that calories, what's in this drink, what's in that healthy diet bar, right? Because if I can shave 100 calories, I'm gonna do those things there. So number one, just keep going. Colin, as I shared today, just keep writing, keep doing those things. Number two, the second thing I learned about doing these blogs and podcasts, everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. Most people want to share their story. Not that they're bragging or showing off, but you feel proud, right? It was your story. You've went through this experience. You've done that thing. You've experienced that thing, and now you get to talk about it. And that's why I love doing the podcast, not only outside of school, like right now, and I don't have a guest tonight, but also in school. I get to share the kids' stories, the teachers' stories about how they got there, right? How are they where they're supposed to be? We have a senior in Port Jervis that I'm interviewing tomorrow. Tune in, 1:30 Eastern time for the Port Center podcast. ESPN has Sports Center. Port Jervis, we got Sports Center. I'm interviewing a young man. He signed a professional contract for cornhole. He is a professional cornhole tosser, thrower. I don't know what you call it. He's in a league. He's making money, and he's a senior in high school. What a story. How did he get there? How did he start? How did he know he was good? How did he do it? I'm going to ask all those questions and more, and he gets to share his story. I love it. I think it's great, and everyone has a story. Number three thing I've learned about the blog and the podcast and kind of on this journey I'm in, just start. Just start. I had zero experience. I didn't know what I was doing. I had never done it before. I didn't know how to ask questions. I didn't know how to lead a show. My wife loves Howard Stern. She's always talking about what a great interviewer he is. Well, I had zero experience. I got a big mouth from an Italian family, and I just started. The learning is in the doing. You could be a student forever until you get out there and do it, right? I refereed, friends. I refereed my life there as a ref. I took all those courses. I watched the videos. I did this. I did that. It wasn't until I got out there and I did it, right? And I learned how to do it. You learned, I should have blown the whistle. I shouldn't have blown the whistle, right? Here's an example. Refereeing. you watching the plays, you're watching, everyone's watching at home. Oh, this play. You're running half the time. Yes, there's times where you're standing still, but you are running. Imagine you're trying to run and you're moving, your eyes are bouncing, and you're trying to watch this play. That's why they try to run so smooth, right? So you're not bouncing up and down. You won't know that until you get out there and do it. So whatever that thing is that you want to do, just go start. Start that thing because the learning is in the doing. And as I shared with Colin today, if you carry a bird cage around long enough, someone's going to give you a bird. I love that. Heard that quote from Dr. Gilbert. But it's true, right? So if you're out there doing that thing, maybe it is losing weight. Maybe it is writing a book. Maybe it is training for a marathon, like my sister Suzanne Carbonero is going to run the New York City Marathon here next month. But when you're doing those things and then you're talking about them, people are going to help you. People go, oh, I know someone who ran a marathon. Oh, I know someone who raised money for a marathon. Oh, I know somebody who did this. And then they're going to help you. If you carry a bird cage around long enough, someone is going to give you a bird. So think about that. All right. I'm going to jump in the chat here. Karen, consistency is what motivated me with my goals. Great. I love sharing, and it makes me proud of what I've accomplished. In June, I will graduate with my teacher's bachelor's degree in early childhood. May have waited later in life to start my work degree, but I truly believe things are never too old to learn new things. Way to go, Karen. And you learned a lot there in our session. You sat up front. You had a positive attitude, and things are going in the right direction for you. Sharon, Karen, when you get that degree in June, let's get you on the podcast. Let's hear your journey. Let's hear your story, and we will celebrate you. We'll celebrate Veribest and the work you're doing there. So mark that down, Karen. Get in touch with me, and we'll get you scheduled for the podcast. And again, celebrate the work you are doing there. Okay? All right, that was number 3. Let's take a little sip here. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Thanks for sticking with me here, friends. Again, I'm going solo tonight. This is called Thoughts and Reflections with Andrew Marotta. Gotta hydrate. Number 4, success leaves clues, right? I just shared, again, that birdcage scenario. Well, success leaves clues. What do successful marathon people do? What do successful writers do? What do healthy people do? It's all out there, right? Remember as kids, right? If you're my age, 50 and older, we had encyclopedias. You had to look it up. We didn't have the internet. Right? You had to go to the library and get a book about calories and being healthy. Now, YouTube, AI, Google, it's all right there. It's all right there. Google how to run a successful podcast, how to lose weight. It's all there. Videos, people trying to share. You follow them, all that kind of stuff. Certainly, they want your business, but it's all there. Success leaves clues. So, who is that person who's doing what it is that you want to do? Who's that person? Find out who they are and then do what they do, right? Here's one of my leadership exercises I do with different groups and different people, right? Get an index card, not the little one. I'm trying to see if I got one here, but the big one, right? It's about this size. Here's my show notes. It's about this size, like a 5x7, 6x8 card. Number 1, what is it that you really want? Put down the things that you really want on that card, right? Is it your retirement? Is it that marathon? Is it a new car? You want to make a lot of money? You want to write a book? You want to have a baby? You want to get married? You want to have a family? You want to get your doctorate? Whatever that thing is, write it down. Write down a bunch of things, right? Write them down. If you're not writing them down, your goals are floating out there. Write them down. Number 2, who is somebody is doing what you want to do or has what you want to have? Right? I have a lot of people that ask me, Andrew, how do you become a speaker? Right? How do you become a speaker? Well, who is somebody that's doing what you want to do or has what you want to have? And then number 3 on that card, what are 3 simple steps? Simple, that you can start today, not tomorrow, today, that'll move you forward with that goal, right? Move you forward with that goal. I got a text today from one of my mentees, one of my guys. Hey, Andrew, can we check in? I'd like to go over a few things. He texted me. Sure. Boom. We're going to do this tomorrow at this time. He reached out. What is it that you want? Who is someone that's doing what it is that you want to do or has what you want to have? And number three, what are 3 simple steps that you can do to get to that or move forward towards that space? Simple. And then go do those things. Put it into action. Go do those things there, right? That's an activity that's great. That was number 4 there, success leaves clues. And then number 5, and again, the topic here that I was talking about is a session I have, blogging, podcasting, and adding value to your school community. Number 5, shining that light for others, writing and expressing gratitude for Port Jervis, making Port Jervis schools shine, spotlighting the great things that are happening, creating media content out on social media, out on our websites that is celebrating others, shining the light on others, building others up. It is so contagious. It's so great. It has been the most rewarding thing for me in my career. We've raised our graduation rate. We've had other successes in Port Jervis. We've done some great things over my time as principal, and there's amazing people there that are doing the work. This, for me, has been the most rewarding time in my career to be able to shine the light on my people from Port, and it's been great. It's been great. So when you can lift up others in your career, when you can help shine the light for others, when you can help do things for other people, it is so rewarding for you. And I'm getting to experience that right now. So I'm speaking to you as for someone who's going through that. And there's one of my guys that is making it happen in Port Jervis. The Austin Wilson is part of it. It's been so rewarding to talk and share about great people like Austin Wilson and the great people, teachers and educators, families in Port Jervis. I bumped into one of my students today, graduated years ago. She's a nurse now serving the Saucechuck family. Kayleen, if you're watching, her sister Juliana was Kayleen Saucechuck, the older one. I mean, it was incredible. She's a nurse, and we got chit-chatting a little bit, left him a little note on the car. So grateful for those relationships and to be able to do that. So if you're an educator watching and you don't have a blog or a podcast for your school district, please reach out. If I could share a little bit about how it works, what to do. And again, many of us, right, that's not your full-time job. I know you have a full-time job. This has turned into my full-time job, which is great. But still, I urge you to look for ways to shine the light on others and celebrate others. This amazing, super incredible Austin Wilson from Port Jervis has jumped in the chat there. And he is one of those people. It's an example, right? And I feel so blessed and fulfilled to be able to shine the light on amazing people like Austin and our amazing school community that we have in Port Jervis. So 5 points that I shared about the podcasting world, the blogging world that I'm involved with. It started for me outside of school, but now I get to do it inside of school. People want to see good news, good things happening. There's so much negative stuff. There's so much of this out there. Tell your story. Tell your story at your school district. We've opened up our comments on Facebook. We've made them public because we're shining that light so bright, and it's built such positive momentum, and just proud and happy to be part of it there with that. So that is all for tonight, friends. Thanks for tuning in. I'm looking at the clock. 40 minutes. I spoke 40 minutes with a loose outline here. So how about anybody got a question for me in the chat? Anybody have anything they want to throw in there? before we go. And while people might be typing or writing things, I do want to share again these two things I got going on. Number one, I have started PPC, High Performance Leadership Coaching with Andrew Marotta. That is for companies, that is for business leaders, that is for school leadership teams, that is for grade level teams, districts, coaching their teams, 3 months, 6 months, and 12-month opportunities, talking about so many of the leadership topics we addressed tonight, wellness, self-care, public speaking, effective communication, resilience, healthy habits, cultivating creativity, right? The blog and the podcast, cultivate creativity, serving others, building an impactful vision, producing an improvement in results. We're not just chit-chatting, friends. We're not just BSing. We are improvement in results, leader confidence and performance, employee satisfaction, retention. We all trying to keep our people, and certainly school improvement. That's PPC. And then the next book is coming out. The Magic Acronyms, Formulas, and Impactful Stories of Leadership. I hope to have that out in the next couple of weeks. So those two things are coming. I wanted to share that, and I appreciate you tuning in tonight. I appreciate your support. Friends that jumped in here, thank you for being part of the show tonight. And if I can help you, if you have questions on anything I talked about, please reach out. If you are looking for a speaker for next year, you are looking for a book study, you are looking for some connection, maybe I can be that person for you. So reach out. My email here, I'll put it in the chat, but it's on my website, andrewmarotta.com. But here's my email, friends, and I'd love to hear from you. I can't talk and type at the same time. Bam, there it is. Okay. All right. Well, if there's no other questions in the chat, I am going to sign off here. This is Education Leadership Beyond. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you tuning in tonight. And keep rolling, friends. Keep surviving and thriving. And keep taking care of yourself. When you fill your cup, you then can pour into others. Keep rolling, friends.